Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the LFC News channel. I am Ben, and we are here with our first live match reaction since I joined. Massive shout out to all of you that tuned into the last stream that I did. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was Thursday night. Some really good engagement in the comments, in the live comments, and the replay comments. So big shout out to you all. Please make sure you stick around. Make sure you tune in, you subscribe, you put your notifications on, because there's plenty more live content coming, not just with myself, but we're going to get special guests on the show. We're going to get different people from different clubs to come on here and discuss Liverpool and our upcoming fixtures that have just been played, transfer news. Hopefully we'll try and get some journalists even on the show. Why not? But yeah, make sure you're smashing the like button upon entry. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And let's get straight into this without any hesitation whatsoever. So, Liverpool, of course, we have just beaten Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. It wasn't an easy game, but it never is at Selhurst Park. Last season, I had the fortune of going with my brother, sat in the away end when Harvey Elliott scored a late winning goal. And again, today was just one goal. That was the difference between the two sides. And thankfully, it was us again that managed to get the goal. It was Diogo Jota in 11 minutes, I believe. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. My Sky at home, my broadband and my TV has been all over the place this week. We are getting an engineer to come out to it very soon. So I actually missed. Apparently, there was an offside goal in like 20 seconds. But I actually didn't see it, so I can't really comment on it. But what I gather is Tsimikas was at fault for it or something. Do let me know in the comments what happened in that 20 seconds, because by the time I managed to get the game up on my Sky Go account, we was already 3 minutes in, and thankfully I didn't really miss too much. But before we get into the game and how it panned out, again, like the stream if you are just joining, and make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on. There was a couple of changes from the team that beat Bologna in the week. And it was quite a surprise. When was it really? I don't know. I did see a few people not sure why Diaz wasn't starting. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So this was our lineup. Alisson in goal. Tsimikas, Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahim Konate, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones, Mohamed Salah, and Diogo Jota up front. So I believe it was two changes from the team that managed to beat Bologna. Kostas Tsimikas, was it? It might have been three, actually. No, because Tsimikas started, didn't he? Yeah. So Cody Gakpo comes in for Luis Diaz, and Diogo Jota comes in for Darwin Núñez. And yeah, I mean, when you look at that team on paper, I wasn't really worried. I wasn't really concerned. The game kind of went how I expected it for the most part. Control from Liverpool, not really any worries about Palace, because with all due respect to Crystal Palace, I looked at that team and I thought, I'm not really worried by it. We'll get on to what happened in the sort of last 30 minutes a bit later on down the line. But for the most part, I was quite confident. I was happy and I was comfortable with that team going to face Crystal Palace. And yeah, and I was right, to be fair, because it was a very dominant first half performance, and everyone was playing pretty well. I think there was a couple iffy moments, but on the whole, I don't really have anybody to complain about in the first half. I think as the game went on, like I said, it got a bit tricky, and I think we found ourselves in the position where we hadn't capitalised on our chances. And we know by now, Liverpool are playing at 12:30 on a Saturday lunchtime. If we have chances and we don't take chances and the other team is still in the game, then, we're sort of leaving the door half open for the other team to come back into the game. And that's what we did today. We had so many chances. Diogo Jota could have scored a hat-trick. There was a chance, I think, in the second half where Virgil van Dijk played a brilliant ball over the top to Mohamed Salah. He could have scored to go 2-0 up. But the first goal and the only goal of the game was a very, very nicely worked goal. It was a brilliant pass from Kostas Tsimikas into Cody Gakpo, who puts it across to Diogo Jota, who scores. And look, I don't think it was Jota's best game. I don't think it was an incredible game by Diogo Jota. But when the ball is played to him in the box, when he's in those right positions, he knows what he has to do to score. And yeah, he could have scored 2-3 goals today. There was a couple of chances. There was a header where I think he should have done better with it. There was the one where Gravenberch played it across the box where he should have done better with it. But at the end of the day, he got the job done. We got the job done. 1 goal, and that's all it needed in the end. Not really too much to say about the first half in general. I think Kostas Tsimikas, that pass to Cody Gakpo was brilliant. And like I said, that left-hand side, I think today worked really well. I thought Curtis Jones had a decent game, even though a lot of people are very critical over Curtis Jones. I thought he had a decent game out there. And then in the second half, we obviously saw Szoboszlai come on for Alexis McAllister. Now, at first, I don't think people quite understood why that was happening, whether it was because McAllister was on a yellow card and we needed him for Chelsea after the international break, or whether it's a tactical thing because maybe the physical presence of Dominic Szoboszlai would be needed in the second half. But I believe the commentator said that McAllister is actually sat on the bench with an ice pack on his thigh. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Slot says about that. And if there are any Slot comments coming out about that, then we will get them and I will get them on the stream right away. But yeah, again, we had a few chances, nothing incredible. It wasn't an amazing Liverpool performance by any means, but there were chances, and the Salah one being the main one for me in the second half. That pass from Virgil van Dijk was absolutely incredible, really. I mean, Virgil van Dijk today could have played with a cigar, and he could have played that game with a cigar, maybe with a drink in his hand. He was just so comfortable and so, at ease with dealing with absolutely anything on the ball, off the ball, anything that they threw at Virgil van Dijk's way today. He just dealt with it as if it was nothing. And, I think Virgil van Dijk's performances this season have kind of gone under the radar, if I'm completely honest. I think he's got to a level in football where people just sort of expect it every single week in, week out. And I don't think that's really fair, because when Virgil van Dijk has a bad game, or when he's not at his best, or on the rare chance where he's at fault for a goal, it's everywhere. It's breaking news. It's on Sky Sports. They're playing replays of it all week. People make fail comps of Van Dijk, and half the videos that they put in that compilation are not even fails, really. So what I'm trying to say is everyone is so vocal. Everyone is on him when he's not really at his best, which, by the way, is not very often. But when he plays like he did today, when he plays how he has been doing most of the season, everyone is so quiet. And I think that's where it's up to us Liverpool fans to be loud about Virgil van Dijk, to make people aware that, Virgil van Dijk is still the best centre-back, first of all, in the Premier League and in world football, because the people that they've been putting on the same sort of level as Virgil van Dijk, such as Saliba, good centre-back, very good young centre-back, he could easily go on to be the best in the world when Virgil isn't. But right now, Virgil is head and shoulders. For me, let me know if I'm wrong, but Virgil van Dijk is head and shoulders above every single centre-back on planet Earth. And I don't see that changing really anytime soon. But yeah, that pass that he did to Salah was out of this world. It's almost a pass you'd associate with, like, dare I say it, like a Xavi or someone like that from midfield. It was that good. There was that Jota chance as well, which I was alluding to earlier, where Trent has a free kick, dinks it into the box, and Jota heads it wide. Should have scored, should have at least hit the target. It was a very poor header from Diogo Jota. And to be honest, I'm surprised that we didn't see Jota go off earlier, because then again, maybe it's because he was getting the chances, and Slot maybe thought, you know what, if he's getting the chances, the likelihood is he's going to take one soon. And we have Teal, who says, no one is better than Big Verge. I absolutely wholeheartedly 100% agree with that statement. And I would say nobody, even in like the Premier League era since it started, really. I know people disagree with this, but I would put Virgil van Dijk at number one. I think the only reason why people don't put him at number one is because when it comes to domestic success in the Premier League and the FA Cups, he's only won, one Premier League and one FA Cup and all of that, whereas, Vidic's and Terry's and all of those guys won multiple. But that's not Virgil's fault. He came into a Liverpool team that was not near that level, and he transformed us overnight, literally overnight. Him for that 6-month spell without Alisson, and then obviously we got Alisson in the summer. Those two signings alone made us a top 4 team, from a top 4 team to a team that is capable of winning any trophy that there is. And yeah, I completely agree. I've not seen a centre back in this country, and I'm 27 years of age. I've not seen anyone better than Virgil. His technical ability, his physique, just the way he imposes himself on games. I've never seen forwards more scared of a centre back than I have of Virgil van Dijk. You know, it gets to the point where I think players see Virgil ahead of them and they get the ball and they think, you know what, I don't fancy that, and they turn and go the other way. That's how it is with Virgil. And yeah, no one, you've hit the nail on the head there, Teal. No one is better than Van Dijk. And Daniel said before the stream even started, so massive shout out to you, mate. We need another goal. We absolutely did need another goal. It did feel like getting towards that sort of last 20 minutes. The tide was turning and Palace were getting comfortable in the game. And let's just talk about that. But before we do, I need to talk about Alisson Becker. We need to talk about Alisson Becker. So please let me know. I don't believe there's any news about Alisson as of yet. But if you're watching live, there's 37 of you in the building right now. Make sure you smash the like, first of all. That's the most important thing. Second of all, I'm trying to see if there's any news, any official news that's come out, and I don't think there is. I'm not going to speak on speculation because all the Twitter doctors, all the people, oh yeah, he was sat at a 90-degree angle whilst on the floor. He was crying. So I make that this injury, and he's going to be out for 8 weeks. You're going to get all those sort of Twitter doctors come out now and diagnose him. But we will only speak on the matter when there's official news, and it doesn't look like Slot's spoke on it yet. We're assuming it's a hamstring pull, guys, which a hamstring pull, it could be anything really. It could be a small one. I'm doing it now. I'm diagnosing it, but you know what I mean. It could hopefully be a less serious one, but then there's every chance that it's a serious one and it could be out for a very long time. Who knows? Let's all hope for good news on Alisson Becker. But the Anfield edition has actually tweeted this. It says Slot has said he doesn't expect Alisson to be available until after the November international break. I mean, wait, so that's not even this international break. No. So we've got the October one, and then we've got the November one. So he's gonna miss Real Madrid. He's gonna miss Real Madrid. They'll have to play Real Madrid without Alisson Becker. That is disappointed that they could only score the goal. I know one win is a win, but it's not good enough. You are right, technically. You know, the performance, if you put the performance on its own and just look at that performance, you say, yeah, it wasn't great. However, we've won 9 out of our 10 games with Arne Slot, and we are technically still in transition. So for me, I see it as a positive. People will see it as a negative, but I certainly see it as a positive. And if you're top of the league going into the October international break, and what you're saying is it's not been good enough, which a lot of people are saying, to be fair, is that not a big positive? Does that not tell you that when Arne Slot manages to get this Liverpool team to click and everyone knows what they're doing, everyone has their role, and he's figured out what his best 11 is, he's figured out what his preferred number 9 is that not a massive positive? Like, we can be top of the league and a lot of our fans still don't think it's been good enough. Because I wouldn't say it's not been good enough. I wouldn't agree with that. Maybe today you might have a point, but on a whole, and we might do a stream about this during the international break, so make sure you subscribe with your notifications on, and I'll get some guys in here as well. So it's like a big panel show. I think that would be great. Yeah, I don't see how you can be top of the league going into October and people saying it's not been good enough. Can there be improvements to be made? Yes, 100%. Everybody knows that. Slot says it every single week. He always says, yeah, there were a couple of things that I liked, but there were also a couple of things that I didn't like. And those things that he didn't like will get ironed out as the season progresses. The only unfortunate thing for us now is we have an international break again when we're sort of on the roll of a few wins. And the first game back is Chelsea. So it's not ideal. It's not an ideal fixture schedule, that. But it is what it is. I'm just still on the hunt for some Alisson Becker news. And let's just carry on talking about Ali for a second. I just don't get it. Because, yeah, he made a few saves in that game and he was on his toes. And he honestly did do really well in a few situations where, you know, maybe it was straight at him, but he still had to be alert. But the one moment or the two moments where he had to get involved, he pulls his hamstring. And apparently Virgil van Dijk said, Alisson's injury doesn't look good. It looks like a hamstring which was already bothering him and from which he recovered. Yikes. So if it's a recurring hamstring issue, then who knows, man? Who knows? Let's just hope. Let's just pray. If anyone's watching in this see what I mean? See what I mean? The Twitter doctors are out in full force. This is exactly what I'm saying. The Physio Scout football injury analysis, okay, says Virgil van Dijk's comments on Alisson Becker's injury post-match. Alisson's injury doesn't look good. It looks like a hamstring, which is already bothering him and from which he recovered. Sounds like a moderate to high-grade strain at this current stage. Who has told you that information? Where have you got that information from? You could be right. But you've just taken a gamble there. You've just taken a punt at guessing what sort of injury he's got. There's been no report. He's not even had a scan yet. The manager's not come out and said that. Where have you got that information from? I would love to know. He might be right. It might be exactly what he said. But it winds me up when the Twitter doctors come out in full force before anything's even been said. But anyway, Alisson, why does he get injured so much for a goalkeeper? You know, I've seen people question his physique and, you know, he's quite a big guy and some people even think he's a bit overweight. I don't think that. But why does he get injured so much? I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a goalkeeper can be so good yet so injury prone at the same time. And I believe that when Liverpool were looking to get Mamardashvili, this was always in the back of their mind. Like Alisson's still young for a goalkeeper. I believe Alisson can play at the top level until he's 35, 36, 37, 38. I really do. But are these injuries going to slow down that? Are these injuries going to keep creeping up? And I don't think Liverpool have any immediate plans to sell Alisson, and I don't think they would ever want to let him go. But, you know, Mamardashvili is said to be one of the best young goalkeepers in world football. We've got him in. He's at Valencia. Now, I want to know if anybody knows in this chat, because I'm not too sure about this. Can Mamardashvili come back to Liverpool this summer? Not this summer, this season. Or somebody replied to a tweet, because I put this tweet out and said, can we recall Mamardashvili? And someone seemed to think it's not actually a loan deal. It's more of an agreement for next summer. So do let me know in the comments if you're clued up on the situation. Can Mamardashvili join Liverpool at any point this season? Or do we have to wait until next season regardless? Because, to be honest, I didn't even realise Kelleher wasn't on the bench today. I had no idea. When Ali went off, I just thought, Kelleher's going to come on now. But then Kelleher wasn't even on the bench. And I was like, what's going on here? Where are our goalkeepers? And then Jaros came on. And to Jaros's credit, there was a couple of moments where he had to throw himself in and get himself involved. And, I was a bit concerned when Jaros came on because they had Mateta on. I thought Mateta was just going to stand on him and make himself a nuisance. But we did all right. And, you know, hopefully Kelleher will be back for Chelsea. I mean, he should be. He's like, 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away? Because we need experienced bodies for that game, of course, at home to Chelsea. Chelsea this season, by the way, and we'll do a preview show. I've got someone in mind that I want to bring on, a very big content creator, by the way, for the Chelsea space. I need to ask him first. I'm not going to say anything until he said if he can come on or not. But Chelsea have been a lot better this season. And all of a sudden, Cole Palmer's getting into form. And we have 2 weeks off now for an international break, which we had last month. And guess what? We've got another one next month. And now it's sort of a disruption. And Chelsea at home is the first game back, which for me, I'm not concerned. I'm not worried about Chelsea at home. We'll beat anyone. But, well, clearly not Forest, but that's another story. But, I'm never worried about home games. I think we'll take them. But it's not ideal, is it? You know, after the international break, you want someone like, I don't know, Southampton at home or somebody like that. You don't want Chelsea at home. Well, it is what it is. That's the way the fixtures have scheduled themselves out. We haven't really played a team like that yet, so this will technically be our first big test in the league. I know we played Man United, but nobody regards them as a test, really, do they? Not in 2024. But, not having Alisson for that game would be quite interesting, to say the least. But, I'm still on the hunt to see if Slot's actually given any more information because I don't want to just go with what the Twitter doctors have said. But it doesn't look like anything reliable has come out. A lot of people are speculating it's serious, and look, it probably is serious because the way he was acting when he was on the floor, he starts smacking the ground. Literally, as soon as he kicks the ball, he goes down. And you can see the annoyance and discomfort he was in. But again, I only want to speak on the facts. So when the facts come out, I sound like Rafa Benitez, but when the facts come out, we'll talk on it, and we might do a stream about it as well, but only until then. But yeah, anything else to discuss from the game, really? Like the last sort of 15-20 minutes, Palace were putting it on us. They had a few moments. I think Eze hit it straight at Jaros. There was a 3-on-1 situation, and I think Palace, watching that back, will be kicking themselves because, yeah, it was a really, really good opportunity for Crystal Palace to get their goal that they needed, but obviously it just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. There was a couple moments where it was a bit uncomfortable, but yeah, we managed to get the job done. And whereas people will come in and say, it's not good enough, or we could do better, 100% we can do better, and we will. This team is nowhere near the end product, and I think that's what I would emphasize to fans that are coming in saying it's not good enough. This team's still in transition. This team's still learning a new manager. Jurgen Klopp was here for 8 years, I think, 8 or 9 years. Like, it's a big change to go from one manager to another. As much as Arne Slot will come out and say, yeah, we've not really changed much, all the personnel, like coaching staff and people they see on a day-to-day basis, apart from Carol and Caroline and maybe a couple more, have all changed. So they've come in with new ideas, new systems, new ways of playing, and some players have had to adapt. Some players might be a bit more comfortable getting as much as the ball than before. So there's loads of different things that they need to sort of get used to. And yeah, for me, I think when it comes to Christmas time, if we're still in and amongst like the conversations, then we will be fine and we will compete this season for big trophies. You know, that's for me when I think, you know what, like, it's not really honeymoon period, but like the start is over now. Now we really need to start seeing how Liverpool are going to play, a distinct way of playing. Like, you know, we need to see it and on a consistent basis. And I think that will happen because what I've seen so far, I've seen the glimpses. And I can just see a Liverpool team that is ready to explode at any given moment and, you know, just sort of blow teams away. We've not done that yet for whatever reason. Maybe it's because, like I said, they're just getting used to a new system and maybe they're trying to, I don't know, just keep things simple. I don't know. But we'll be fine. We'll get it better. And yeah, let's just close this stream on talking about this. Liverpool, top league. Liverpool, top league. And we are. No matter what happens today, we are top of the league going into the October international break, which is music to our ears. If you gave us this, and this is another thing I'd say as well, based on this, is this good enough question that people keep talking about. If we gave you this scenario, or somebody offered us all this scenario at the start of the season, you go into the October half term, the October international break, top of the league, guaranteed, no matter what happens in the Arsenal-Man City game, you'd snap their hands off because this was supposed to be a top 4 battle and it very well could be. You know, let's not get ahead of ourselves because we're top of the table. It doesn't matter if you're top in October. What matters when you're top is if it's like after Christmas in January, February time, you know. But like I'm saying, if I offered you this scenario at the start of the season, 7 games, 6 wins, 1 defeat, you'd snap your hands off, wouldn't you? You would have absolutely done anything to be in this position. And that's what it all comes down to me. Can it be better? Yes. Will it be better? Absolutely. But for now, we've got the results that we needed. We're top of the league, regardless of what happens in other games today. And that's that. So, yeah, nothing much really left to say. All I will say is don't go anywhere because we are going to be here during the international break. I've got a bunch of live streams planned with different guests maybe coming on the show. Different topics to talk about. If there's anything in particular you want to see, do let me know in the comments on the replay. Because obviously this is a live stream, but I understand people will be watching it on the replay as well. So if you're watching it on the live stream or the replay, make sure you smash the like button. It will do absolutely wonders for the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Your notifications on, that's an important one because as soon as we upload or go live, you will be notified to your phone or whatever device you watch YouTube videos on. And you don't want to miss a live stream. Trust me, I've got some big things planned. And some big guests hopefully coming on to talk about Liverpool, which is the thing that we all love to do. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you made it to this point, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time for the next stream. See you soon, guys. Have a great weekend.